What's going on, everybody? It's Dave's Daily Trades. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving. I know I personally ate way too much cheesecake, but on the good side, it was a great time to catch up with some old friends, catch up with family, and of course, just take some time off of work. But we have a lot of things to cover today. We're going to be going over the technical analysis for AMC, going over best worst case scenarios for next week, and just discussing overall support and resistance lines that we're going to be battling in the next couple of days. We're also going to be looking at some very interesting things going on with the overall economy in relations to Evergrande, the VIX spiking just about 50%, over 50% on Friday, and some various other things playing out. And then, guys, we are going to be going over inflation, tapering, and everything you guys need to know for what is about to happen. But, guys, without further ado, we're going to roll right into the intro and then hop into the technical analysis. And we're back. All right, before we do jump into the technical analysis for AMC, I do want to make a statement because I've received a lot of DMs and comments on previous videos about the video with Lou versus Wall Street. And if you guys aren't aware, one thing that Lou was saying in his last video was to stop buying AMC because that is actually hurting the movement. Now, if you guys are hearing this for the first time, yeah, it sounds a little absurd. And I did want to take a little bit of time to look into this, watch his video before I came out and publicly stated my personal beliefs on this. And I do have to say, I do not buy it one bit. I mean, here's the thing. His main argument in that video was when we do buy these fake shares of AMC, it further dilutes the price within AMC. But as we know, guys, there are many ways that the hedge funds and the market makers can actually drive the price down. So in my opinion, stopping our buying pressure is only going to give them more tactics to actually drive down the price even further. So of course, guys, I am going to continue to buy when I can. And of course, we had our own Black Friday discounts in the market on Friday. So of course, guys, I personally do not buy it one bit. Some other people in the community may, but I am personally going to continue to buy and hold as I have done for the past just about 11 months now. Just about 11 months. But the other thing is we have just about 4.2 million retail investors within this movement. There is never going to be something that every single individual is going to agree on. We have different personalities, different backgrounds, and different understandings of the financial markets. So, of course, guys, there's going to be different beliefs in this, as there should be. There is just so many people in this movement that no one can actually agree on everything. So, instead of hating on people, instead of, throwing shade at people, believe in what you want, do your own research, come up with your own conclusions, and go from there. And if you don't agree with people, it's okay. It is what it is. Just move on. Disregard what they have to say, and look into things that you're passionate about, that you truly believe in. But with that said, guys, we're going to hop into the technical analysis here. So, of course, Friday was just a brutal day for the overall market in general. There was a lot of things going on that we are going to discuss, but we're just going to break down exactly what happened and where we are right now. So we are currently sitting in between the 61.8% level and the 78.6% level. Literally just about perfectly in the middle of this, in between these levels. Now, the great thing is we did find support right around this $36.15 level, which actually has been support, which we can confirm down here on 1022. We can also confirm it for 10.5. And on 10.13 again. So this level has been key for us in the past and looked like it played out very nice on Friday. Now, of course, guys, we have been talking about that 37.50 level, or 37.60 level, apologies on that, which has been support in the past as well. we are currently trading just at that level as of close on Friday. So, meaning we haven't officially broken out and confirmed this level as support, meaning we would move higher on Monday. So I would say best case scenario is we do reconfirm this 3760 on Monday before moving higher. Now, we do want to play out the worst case scenario. And a worst case scenario would be coming down and retesting this $36.15 level. If that can't be held, we do have that support down here at the 34.41 level, which just so happens to be that 78.6% retracement level. So I do believe we are going to start to trend higher come Monday. But of course, worst comes to worst, we do have these two levels that we should be able to bounce off of if we do have any downside in the beginning of the week. Because guys, there are just so many things going on with the overall markets, not just in the US, but literally globally here. Anyways, guys, we're going to jump out and look at the one-day chart. So as you guys can see, we are trading in between that 61.8 and the 78.6 levels. And we do get this from the Fibonacci retracement from our recent low, just about at $29.40, established on 8/11, to the recent high of $52.79, established on September 13th. And we are in the middle of that trading pattern. And as you guys can see, over here in this time frame, we did confirm this $36.15 support and did start to trend higher once we did bounce around in that range. Now, seeing that we did get a strong retracement on Friday really shows that we are uncomfortable at that level and want to push back into the $40 range, in my opinion. So, of course, we will see what Monday brings. We'll break this down day by day. And, of course, guys, just disregard all the dates out there. We're just going to take this day by day. Now, I do want to jump into some pretty interesting things that I'm finding. The first is coming from Stonks, or Batman Stonks Batman, something like that, on Twitter. I'll link his bio in the description below. He does post some very great information. And one thing that he actually found was the shares available. Now, of course, guys, we have seen shares available jumping pretty significantly in the past couple of weeks. And even, I would say, the past month and a half, as you can see from this chart here. Now, of course, guys, a lot of people have been seeing this and kind of relating this to driving the price action down. But looking at the larger scale trend of all of this, we can see some patterns playing out. When these shares available do jump and trend to the upside, we do see some bullish price action. We can see this in January. We can see this in June, right around that June 2nd date. And now over here, where this has been accumulating and getting pretty high. Now, of course, guys, I do want you to take this with a grain of salt because this could not play out the way we expect it to do, as have some things in the past. But I did want to point out this trend and just show you that the share availability trending in the higher direction is not necessarily a bad thing. It actually is a good thing because it shows that AMC is not an attractive stock to short. Another part of this thread that Batman Stonks did point out was the volume. Now, of course, guys, volume has been extremely low, and actually under 20 million shares were trading as of Friday. Of course, Friday was a half day in the market, but even looking back at Thursday, we did see that under 20 million volume come out. The last time we saw this around 18 million volume was on May 5th. When volume was extremely low. And you do see this descending volume levels happen, which we have been seeing since just about August, September timeframe, where we have been in this descending level of volume. So, of course, guys, we do expect to see volume increase. Specifically, I know this trading time was a little bit weird, specifically this week, because a lot of big whales and big traders out there are taking some vacation time, which is totally fine. And that really shows us why we're in this range, just between $36 and $43, which actually has been a tight range for AMC comparative to the past data. Now, this really shows us that we are in this accumulation phase, where we do have, as we have discussed in the past, we have large institutions buying up AMC. We have them doubling down and actually averaging up on the stock, which is always good to see. This accumulation phase should end hopefully shortly, but of course, the time frame on this really does not matter, and we should start to see volume increase to the upside. Now, increasing to the upside will show us that, well, we do expect a run to happen soon. But right now, volume still is on that decreasing time frame. And once we do start to see it tick up, that's where things will start to get interesting. But until it does, I really think we are going to be trading in this consolidated region between that $36 and $43 level. Of course, we'll take this day by day and see exactly where this goes. Now, I do want to jump over before we discuss the overall market shenanigans. The tweet from Adam Aaron that came out, this was on November 24th, so just a couple of days ago. And he specifically says that he has a surprise announcement coming out on Sunday, which of course is tomorrow. Now, I have seen an immense amount of speculation behind this. Some people saying that it's going to be the NFT dividend and it's going to end everything. But I do want to take a step back because there have been a lot of recent news articles and, just bullish sentiment that hasn't gone necessarily in our favor. So before we get way too overhyped about this, I just want us to think about all the other possible things that it could be. It could be discounts on popcorn. It could be even an NFT with a movie that's coming out, not necessarily a dividend, but just NFTs for AMC theaters. It could be news about their cryptocurrency. It could be literally anything. So before we jump to the conclusion that this NFT or Adam Aaron's announcement is going to be the NFT dividend that ends all, let's think about all the other possibilities that are out there. And let's literally wait until this announcement happens before we get extremely bullish on the news to come. So that's all that I want to say on this tweet right here. We'll see what happens. Now, some very interesting things going on, specifically in the VIX. So as we can see, the VIX had a crazy day. We had a 54.04% on the VIX as of Friday. And you can see volume increasing. You can see the RSI going absolutely bananas through the roof. But I do want to draw your attention back to the last time that the VIX had just about this 50-plus movement. This happens back here on 127. And if you guys don't remember 127, I feel bad for you. But 127 was the day that AMC really first ran. And it had a 301.21% gain. Yes, 300% gain. Now, a lot of people I saw in the community talking and comparing the VIX spike has to be with AMC and GameStop. But I do want to say not necessarily. The VIX, in my opinion, was running because of the overall market. Specifically with the new variant that came out, you have the debt ceiling coming to a near end. You have Evergrande potentially defaulting in the next couple of days. And I know we have heard that just so many times, but that's what a lot of analysts are saying right now. Take it with a grain of salt. And just stocks having a very bad day in general, and to add on top of that, inflation being at the highest point we have seen in the past 30 years. So of course, guys, there's a lot going on in the market, and not everything that we see will directly relate to AMC and GameStop because there's just so much going on. Now, of course, does this help AMC? Absolutely, guys. AMC does have that negative beta. Now, breaking down some of the reasons why this VIX potentially spiked. Well, first, let's start with Evergrande. And honestly, to talk about this in the depth that I believe it should be, I am going to be releasing probably another video sometime today that specifically goes into all of these factors, but I'm just going to go over high-level updates with all of this. So, of course, the analyst with one fund that has been specifically invested into Evergrande has said that they have not received any payments and that we should expect the insolvency letter to be released within the next couple of days or weeks. Now, of course, guys, like I said before, take it with a grain of salt because these things really take time. We know that Evergrande is in really a shithole right now, and they probably are not going to be paying back investors, and millions of people are going to be devastated because of this, and really kind of relates back to the 2008 financial crisis. But we should expect something released hopefully this week, and not this week. I would say within the month of December, we should see something come out. Now, I do want to talk about the debt ceiling because that debate should be solved around December 15th, or else the U.S. economy defaults on the debt obligations that we owe, which, of course, guys, is not a good thing. It is very, very bad. Now, this has happened, I believe, somewhere around 80 times in the history of the debt ceiling, and every single time it has been hired, which is totally fine. But now it brings us to this time, which, in my opinion, is a little bit different from the 80-plus times that we've seen in the past, because the last times that this happened was sometime around September, October timeframe, and Congress and Senate came together and agreed that we're going to push this down the road a little bit more time to the December timeframe so that you guys can come to a decision on this. But the Republicans specifically stated that they are done. They are not helping the Democrats with this debt ceiling anymore. They've done what they could, and they've exacerbated their resources. So I'm very curious because we are just about like 17, 18 days away from a decision needing to be made, or else we default. So we'll see what happens. Nothing, and I do want to say this, nothing is guaranteed with this, as they can come to an agreement a day before, a couple hours before, and kick this can down the road another couple of months, or completely suspend the debt ceiling all in general. So we will see what happens, and that is one potential catalyst of why the VIX spiked. Now, diving a little bit further here, we do have the issues with inflation going on. And as I previously stated, the current inflation levels are the worst we have seen in the last 30 years. No wonder, because the money printer has been going crazy. Now, I want to jump over to this article here posted by FX Hedge, and they state that Goldman says the Fed to kick off faster tapering plan from January. So what I'm really getting from this is a sense of urgency. Now, inflation, of course, is bad, but it is getting increasingly worse week after week. We have seen this with the average prices from Thanksgiving dinners. We have seen this in the grocery stores, and we have absolutely felt this from our gas prices. I know I personally drive just about 100 miles a day for work, and I'm feeling it more than ever right now. So I believe the Fed is kicking off this faster tapering because inflation is growing at a faster pace than they have expected. I think we all saw this coming from a mile away, specifically when the Jerome Powell was saying this inflation is transitory. Bullshit. It's not. Surprise, surprise. Here we are in just about December now. It's not going away anytime soon. So they are urgently trying to curb this inflation with stopping the quantitative easing and moving over to tapering. And to say this, tapering is not necessarily a good thing for the market, because all this money isn't going to be pushed into the economy to boost up all these companies and to boost up asset prices. So that means, well, we can expect to see some kind of pullback in the overall economy. Now, this could be anywhere from a 5 to 15% pullback, or who knows what the full extent of this could be, especially with all the other factors going on in the overall economy that we have discussed. So we'll see what happens, guys. But the biggest thing is AMC and GameStop and all these other various meme stocks have that negative beta. And we're not talking about a negative beta of 1 or 2. We're talking about, for AMC specifically, a negative beta of just about 10, which is extremely, extremely good. This is a good hedge against all the shenanigans going on in the market. If we do have that pullback, and specifically with inflation high, with the tapering starting to happen, with quantitative easing over, and the debt ceiling debacle coming to an end, this is a great hedge against the overall economy. So we will see, and of course, I will continue to update you guys on all these various things, and we'll see what happens. But just to end the video today, guys, I personally love to see that reversal on Friday, specifically right near the support level, and closing above that resistance line that we had at 37.55. I love to see that. I know it was a brief close above 33.55, but this to me seems like we are starting the reversal to the upside. Now, we talked about the worst case scenarios. We talked about the good scenarios to play out, and we will see what happens on Monday. But of course, guys, my conviction on AMC still stays the same as day one investing in this stock. We know where this is headed. We don't know when it is necessarily. In the time frame, to me, does not matter, and nor should it to you. It's going to happen when it happens. We don't know the specific catalyst that's going to set this off. It could be, the debt ceiling. It could be Evergrande. It could be, a small or medium-sized hedge fund that defaults. We have no idea what it is, but the surprise of this all should keep you all excited. We'll see what happens Monday. We'll see what happens the next week. We're going to take it day by day from here on out. And of course, not stress the small pullbacks that we have been seeing. Peace out, guys. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Look forward to Adam Aron's tweet. Very curious to see what that is going to be. And I'll see you all on Monday. Peace.